Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this webinar today, Business Beyond Borders, Go Qatar. I am Kavita Chanka, Manager Operations and Stakeholder Relations at the Trinidad and Tobago Coalition of Services Industries. We are pleased to partner with Assuage Business Development Limited on this webinar today and look forward to an engaging discussion with all of the participants and our panelists. So without further ado, I will hand over to Alina Lewis. Alina, you are muted.
Thank you so very much. Thank you. Thank you again, Kavita. Good morning to everyone on the panel. Good morning to all those who are sitting in on this webinar. We welcome you to this information session as it is entitled Business Beyond the Borders. And as Kavita mentioned a moment ago, it is presented through the collaboration of Assuage Business Development Limited alongside the Trinidad and Tobago Coalition of Services Industries with Global Services Trinidad and Tobago. As Kavita mentioned, I am Alina Lewis, and I am the Director of Administration and Operations at Assuage Business Development. Now, we just want, as we welcome you, to make note that at Assuage, we help SMEs expand their businesses by facilitating export and business migration opportunities. This morning's event is a representation of one such effort towards engaging stakeholders so that details about emerging business opportunities can be presented. In this way, rather than struggling through figuring out the nuances of the export market, we at Assuage provide seamless solutions that can be both cost-effective in terms of business development and support market penetration efforts. Support services offered through Assuage include market research services, which provide customized research and reporting about target market realities that impact your products and services. By providing support with market development, the Assuage team is able to help companies like yours with their growth strategy, as will aid with the selling of existing products and services to new groups of customers, and in this case, a new country. Assuage support with the review of your product or service marketing mix and provide recommendations for go-to-market strategy, as well as assisting in the execution of your market development strategies. Now, owners of growth-focused SMEs collaborate with the Assuage team to capture export opportunities and successfully transition into new markets. And it's with this in mind, we're also pleased to be able to offer options for debt and equity financing arrangements, as often is needed to facilitate regional and international business export and business migration opportunities. Now, undoubtedly, business expansion through business migration is a strategic option for increasing market reach. Assuage Business Development is an authorized agent for the Qatar Caribbean Group as we partner to support businesses in the Caribbean region to access and maximize business opportunities in Qatar. So we're happy to see all of you here in session today. And I'm confident that there's much to be gleaned from today's presenters. So please allow me to hand over the presentation to Roel Rollocks, Director of Business Development and Sales at Assuage Business Development, and Mr. Kurt Reggie, CEO at Qatar Caribbean Group. Roel, over to you.
Thank you very much, Alina. As everyone, it's such a pleasure to team up with the TTCSI, and we really applaud the great work that they have been doing to help service-based organizations expand beyond our local borders, as it were. We're doubly excited to be an agent for the Qatar Caribbean Group. Of course, a homegrown group, as you would believe, where we have, our own people out there in Qatar making this link for those of you that are excited about going beyond the Caribbean region. Now, of course, it makes sense to give some context. You know, we are talking about Qatar, but what do we mean? All right. So where is Qatar really? All right. Now, Qatar, if you've done any research, of course, is in the Middle East, and it's actually, if you look at, we have a slide coming up that shows the geography of it. It's actually smack in the middle of the Middle East. So if you picture the Middle East, you go to the middle of the Middle East, you'll find Qatar there. All right. You'll notice it's attached to Saudi Arabia. All right. And it's certainly one of the really emerging markets and destinations for all kinds of things, whether we are talking business, we're talking tourism, you know, we're going to talk a little bit about our World Cup coming up. It really is a tremendous opportunity. So when you think in terms of Qatar itself, just looking at Qatar at a glance, you'd realize that Qatar actually is noted to be among the safest countries in the world. In fact, on one index, it is noted to be the safest country in the world. And just to give you a little feel, you know, so that you know, Qatar Airways is noted to be the best airline in the world. They also have an airport that ranks the third best in the world. All right. Of course, we mentioned earlier, Qatar would be the first Arabian country to host the FIFA World Cup. Just imagine that. And another little tidbit there, you'd realize that the population, which is just over almost 3 million, which is roughly pretty close to Jamaica, if you want to get a sense of context. Only 12% are actually Qataris. I hope I got that pronunciation correct. Mr. JC will correct me a little later. All right. In terms of its size, it's roughly about the same size as Jamaica. Its capital is Doha. It's about $1 to 3.64 real. All right. It's a subtropical climate. So these are just to give you a little feel for the Qatar environment, right? In terms of its economic outlook and business opportunity, it's one of the fastest growing economies in the world. The Qatar's economy will continue to expand, with one of the fastest rates known currently, right? More than 150 large-scale projects, I think totaling over $1 trillion by now, are being offered even beyond 2022 in terms of the World Cup focus. And this includes projects around infrastructure development, roads, construction, building, hospitality, and the works. A lot of this is fueled by Qatar's National Vision 2030, and they are aiming to become a much more modern, technologically driven, diversified, and sustainable economy, right? While the existing opportunities in the oil and gas sector will continue to be there, various opportunities are coming up as far as real estate, construction, tourism, and so forth. And we'll definitely get into some of those a little later, all right? One of the things that's very pivotal in understanding this opportunity is the Qatar Free Zone, which is a pretty unique opportunity in and of itself. All right. This is being made possible by the Qatar Free Zone Authority, and they're responsible for developing these free zones, right? Which give a range of world-class facility and benefits to any person who wants, or business that wants to do business there and to settle their business in Qatar, right? The free zones are located just pretty close to Doha and within 1 hour drive from the Saudi border. So we're here talking about things like 20-year tax-free holidays, access to government-backed funding, you would know, zero custom duties on imports, full capital repatriation. And let me repeat that. You can repatriate 100%, all right, of what you make, right? Of course, there's a skilled workforce available for those that would need to do so. And of course, you have access to their micro business group. So just to give a little bit more context in terms of the range of opportunities, you'll see in the next graph here where we talk about real estate, manufacturing, and so forth. Let me just give you some more detail on that, right? So as it were, Qatar's real estate sector is driven, of course, by construction projects I mentioned that are in the pipeline that are worth I'm sure close to $1 trillion by now. The count keeps going up, right? A pretty high GDP, an influx of population, employment opportunities, and the favorable government policies are certainly driving this expansion in real estate. And as you would imagine, as any service provider, all the spin-off businesses are made possible. The Qatar Financial Center is an onshore business and financial center located in Doha, and they offer domestic and international firms the opportunity to establish providing a broad range of services, both regulated and non-regulated, under the best practice scenario, right? For those persons who may be along the area of technology, you would know that Qatar has a 99.7% world record of internet penetration and offers a host of opportunities for those in the technology sector. Indeed, right now they're building out a number of smart cities, and this will drive a whole host of technology possibilities. In the area of healthcare and life sciences, there are also opportunities there. They boast the fourth best healthcare system in the world. Medical tourism is a big thing that's expanding there. And the health sector has experienced what we call unprecedented growth, which is over $12 billion up to 2024. And the list goes on. Whether we're talking logistics and transport, I mentioned earlier, Qatar having the best airline. We're talking about being the world's leading international air cargo carrier. I mean, the list goes on and on. So for those of you in the area of logistics and transport, this is a place to look for opportunities. The same can be said for the financial sector as well as the tourism sector, all right? All these offer a whole range of opportunities for businesses in the region to take advantage of, right? So in terms of other areas that I may not have mentioned, you would notice expansion in the area of waterworks, marine, if you're in that particular area, agriculture and irrigation, food products and beverages, really expanding. Anybody into anything related to aviation and telecom, education and training, anyone into security, military and defense, there are opportunities there as well. Or maybe you're into alternative energy. Those are also opportunities for your companies as well as medical that I mentioned before, right? So when you think in terms of these opportunities, it certainly is something that you'd want to take advantage of. Qatar checks all the boxes when it comes to relocating your business to Qatar. All right, you would notice there when it comes to migration, we found that it's important to make a distinction here because most persons are familiar with migrating when you are going as an individual, but as a business, we believe it's a viable option. All right, it means that you can take your business and settle in Qatar, right? And utilize all your business skills to take advantage of the opportunities there. So when you consider this from this perspective, Qatar checks all the boxes, whether you're talking about the GDP levels, the literacy levels, the standard of living, safety, the infrastructure, capital repatriation that I mentioned before, as well as industrial development, they're all there for your benefit. So in summary, what we're saying here, Qatar offers a world of lucrative business opportunities. You see a stable and growing economy with a wide range of opportunities. They're open to the world. It's easy to do business. They're the gateway to the Middle East, and there's quite a lot of government support. So what more can I say? All right, there's so much that we would like to share with you. So maybe you're listening in and you really want to take advantage of these opportunities. You want to know more, certainly book an appointment to see us, all right? And before I move any further, I'd like to turn over to Mr. Kurt Regis to share his own comments.
Wow. Well done, Mr. Roll. Thank you so much. Yes, hello everyone. My name is Kurt Regis. I am CEO of Qatar Caribbean Group, Trinidadian, living out in Qatar for the past 8 years, professionally and doing business as well. I am coming you with this scenic background. I'm sure you're interested. This scenic background is one of the premier restaurants in Qatar, Italy restaurant. It's an Italian restaurant. And I'm here simply because things have ramped up so much that it's been business, it's been meetings, and as you know, a lot of meetings are done in this setting, in a restaurant setting, and I thought it prudent. What better way to give you an orientation as to business life, business culture, and the way business is done in a business setting, you know. So again, thank you so much, Roll. Let me say this is a pleasure. Now, Qatar Caribbean Group is a business development, business migration company that is seeking simply to offer a way out, a solution, a viable option that expands the horizons of businesses for Trinidad and Tobago into specifically the Middle East, into Qatar, into this GCC region. At this point, I'm going to ask Elena, you know, to put up the information for QCG, because I'm sure people would want to know more of it, and time would not permit me simply to speak about all the aspects and the avenues that QCG can assist. So for sure, they can go to the website, they can call the numbers and book a candidate appointment for a one-on-one. Now, again, I just want to reinforce what was said before. Why Qatar? Why should you do business in Qatar? Well, I want to let you know, Qatar is an awesome place to do business. It is. First of all, let's start with zero income tax. Zero income tax. Now, that may seem too good to be true, but in fact, it is very much true. And you would be hard pressed to find another location worldwide where this is in fact the case. Qatar is in fact the richest country in the world, and the GDP per capita stands at about 102,000 US dollars. This is primarily due to the fact that Qatar is rich in natural gas reserves and that it has a solid infrastructure for exporting this commodity. Okay, so that is one of the main reasons why this place is so high now and so well sought after as a place to do business. In addition to that, it is a highly developed and it has an extensive infrastructure, which is growing every day. And Roll, you were very close. You were very close. You're looking at more than $1 trillion worth of infrastructural work that is taking place. We're at 1.2 trillion now. All right, and it is growing primarily because they are intent on being a smart city and evolved city, first world status nation by 2030. It is an ambitious goal, but I am sure they will get there. Thirdly, there are modern offices, luxurious spaces to live and do business. Not just modern and luxurious, but they are really involving the latest technologies in day-to-day life. It is not uncommon for you to walk through a city and be stopped by a robot that is advertising some product, you know, or drive past one of the modern rail station that they have, the metro station, that gets you anywhere in Qatar within minutes. And there are a host of other innovations and ways that they are involved in technology, not just in normal life, but also in business. All of the top business development companies, all of the top IT companies, they are here. Of course, Microsoft has databases here, as does Google, as does many other companies. And this allows for lightning speed internet. It allows for broadband that is truly 5G, 24/7, faster connectivity, and the whole movement of information is seamless. It is seamless. In addition to that, it is a good place where you can work with the locals. Now, there is a perception that, you know, here you are in the Middle East and everything would be very stringent and so forth. And yes, for sure, They have their laws, they have their customs, which are to be respected. But I can tell you, with Qataris, they are very receptive to forward-thinking individuals, to business-minded individuals, to the kind of people with the kind of ingenuity and innovative minds that we do in Trinidad and Tobago. And I am a prime example. As I said, I came here as an industrial emergency response specialist working for Qatar Petroleum. And since that time, I have fell in love with doing business and entrepreneurial activities. Hence the reason Qatar Caribbean Group was born. And I dare say it is taking off. It is taking off. I am partnering with wonderful associations and companies of repute, such as Assuage, which really it is my honor and my privilege. In addition to that, there are many, many avenues for business, for startups. And indeed, we are making a portal, so to speak, a mechanism, a platform that businesses out of Trinidad can now take advantage of these opportunities. Okay, it is very straightforward in terms of doing business. Just to give you, in terms of registering and doing business, I can give you just a snapshot where once you partner with QCG and Assuage, what happens is we take care of the entire process end to end, the paperwork, the logistics of it until you land here in Qatar. And even when you land here, we take care of all the steps so that there is no headache, there is no back and forth, there is no keeper. It is a seamless process that goes smoothly until you're registered. We go so far as to place you, because you would need, of course, office space. You would need, of course, locations to set up. Royal mentioned the Qatar Free Zone, which is an excellent option for setting up your business. They again afford you the opportunity to export to the GCC region as well. So as I have spoken, those are just a few of the reasons, the lures for doing business in Qatar. It would be remiss of me if I do not mention the numbers. So let's talk numbers. Qatar affords any business here the opportunity to reach 2 billion people across 25 economies, which equals $6 trillion in combined GDP, all within a 3,000 kilometer radius. A 3,000 kilometer radius. 2 billion people, 25 economies, $6 trillion in GDP. That is now accessible, okay, to any business that is registered, I dare say, through QCG, in addition to which QCG would assist you in that outreach, in that market penetration. So truly, I think it is an excellent opportunity. I think that definitely it is worth taking the next step, which is to schedule that booking, schedule that one-on-one consultation with QCG representatives so that we can give you more information, answer all questions in a way that we may not even be able to on this forum. So I look forward to the questions. I also look forward to the appointments more so, where we can truly lay out the opportunity and take the hand and offer the next step, the next level into this most lucrative market. Thank you, thank you.
Definitely. Thank you to Roll Rollux and Kurth Regis for all the information that they have shared so far. And of course, for those who are looking on, I'm sure you're thinking, wow, this is a lot. It sounds great, but who has been there, who has been operating, who has been doing business. So of course, you know, we could not have this webinar for you without a testimonial. And joining in at this time is Marsha Armstrong Williams, representing RecSmart, an organization that has gone through this process, works closely with QCG, and of course, she'll be able to tell you more about the experience of business migration and the experiences associated with operating in Qatar. So Marsha, allow me to hand over to you.
Thank you, Elena, and thank you for inviting me on this platform. Yes, thank you so much for this opportunity. Well, my name is Marsha Armstrong Williams, and I represent the organization RecSmart Limited as well as QCG. I am the sales and marketing manager for both organizations. Now, our company, of course, in order to definitely benefit from an experience like this, we were our first customers. So actually, our brand, Live3 Qatar, is actually operating in Qatar at this point in time. And thanks to Mr. Regis and all that was obviously portrayed in what he explained earlier on, we were actually benefiting from this experience. How we went about it was, as an organization, was we looked at what was what we were experiencing here in Trinidad and Tobago. RecSmart deals with hydro farming. So we have a hydro farming project in Trinidad, and we decided to migrate that same program into Qatar. And one of the reasons why we did that, obviously, you take the same project, you operate in Trinidad, you get paid in TT dollars. You take the same project, you operate in Qatar, and you have the option of obviously benefiting and getting paid in either US Real, Euro, any currency of choice that you will prefer in regards of your payments. And obviously, the culture there is a little bit more dynamic. Obviously, the business etiquette is much more stringent, and of course, they maintain a certain level of integrity and morality when it concerns their business operations. And of course, we love it because unlike in Trinidad, with businesses, you will have the tendency where persons will change rates or ask you to reduce exactly what it is you may be selling to them. But in Qatar, if it is I'm getting paid for a particular product, and let's use an example, if it is I'm getting paid 7 US for a lettuce head, I could go, and I'm just using the reference to Trinidad, in Arima to Port of Spain to San Fernando and Chaguanas, the rate remains the same. So it's not in Doha district, it is important to recognize that doesn't matter what part of the country, the rate remains the same. So the ability to literally benefit from it, you have without no hesitation, to get the best of both worlds. Further to that, we were fortunate enough upon our arrival to be able to land a 3-year contract. Obviously, it afforded us the opportunity to actually to be able to produce all our type of goods, if it's lettuce, pak choy, or whatever it is. They tell us what they want, we produce the product that they need, and we get paid. We don't have to be looking too much for business, because how they operate, once you produce a quality product, the Qataris and their businesses will seek you out. So it has the business protocol and etiquette that they afforded us, and we obviously enjoy those perks. But more importantly is a society that offers, obviously contrast to Trinidad, a much better operation where business is definitely at a particular standard, so that at the end of the day, you know as a business individual that once you're operating in that territory, the only thing you have to remember, you produce a quality product, you deliver on time, and you stand by your word. They operate in those particular mindsets. So at that point in time, we want to say we have been the best, we have benefited from those situations as well. Now, again, our sales experience, we want to make sure that for persons who want to benefit and join us in Qatar, take advantage of this opportunity. we are encouraging other persons in Trinidad and Tobago to come up to Qatar and experience what we're experiencing. And of course, you could definitely log into our website, the QatarCaribbeanLLP.com, and obviously you could have an opportunity not only to speak with Mr. Regis, but just as well to speak with myself, so that we could also share with you one-on-one our personal experiences. And again, I want to thank you very much, Roel and Elena, for this forum, as well as Ms. Kavita from TTCSI, for allowing me to share with you our personal experience with our Lifetree brand being in Qatar. Have a good day.
Thank you so much, Marsha, but don't stay muted for too long, because Marsha, I want to ask you if you could please share with viewers so they could understand more about the services and packages that would help them with that registration and onboarding process, so that as they soak all this information in, they could really have in mind what that process is like, what it involves in terms of documentation and so on. Can you take a moment and share a bit about that?
Not a problem.
Thank
Now,
you.
we have, in Qatar Caribbean, in the migration program, we have 3 different packages. We have the gold package, we have the Qatar free zone package, and we have the platinum package. The Qatar free zone package, the gold package, which deals with specifically registration of your business in the Qatar financial sector. Now, that is like Port of Spain. So we're looking at the Doha district or any close communities within the Doha district. Now, the registration would afford you the one director, your business name, as well as for you to get your work permit, as well as your residency permit for you to be able to function. Now, that is very critical, because what you want to very much be mindful, when you register a business, you have the opportunity to be able to transact business, not only to just get the benefits of just dealing in Qatar, but also as well to have access to the financial sector. So with that, the registration of your business will permit you and one person to be able to register your business and operate your business in the Qatar Financial Center. And that package, of course, you could reach out to us directly, and we will talk with you one-on-one, and we will also develop a package best based on your business. We also have the Qatar Free Zone package, right? And that one, obviously, Mr. Rolex went into very, very expressive details regarding the Qatar Free Zone. Now, just think about Panama. We all know Panama to the South America is the free zone area of the South Americas. In Qatar, Qatar has its own personal free zone, and they plan to develop more areas in the free zone areas that will permit more access to the greater, wider Middle Eastern areas. Now, the wonderful thing with the Qatar free zone is strategically located, not just only by the seaport area, as well, it is also located to the airport area. So you have the plane access as well as the ship access. And if it is that you choose to operate in that territory, you as a business operations, if it is that you're into manufacturing or distribution, it will be a very ideal location for you to actually operate your business, especially dealing with the distribution aspects of your products and services, right? When you're operating in the free zone, you will be allowed a 20-year tax-free holiday. We in Trinidad and Tobago, we have to pay VAT, we have to pay taxes, and we are not getting no concessions like that. So just imagine being able to actually benefit with regards to having your business strategically located in the free zone. So if it is a client from Iran or Afghanistan or India, or any one of those neighboring, or even Saudi Arabia, Dubai, which is not too far away, if anybody places an order and you want to ship it out quickly, the containers are there, and it would allow you to be able to absolutely gain quick access for delivery on time. Now, again, that package also permits for you to also have a company registration, a director registered, And if any other personnel, we have add-ons that will be catered for additional persons. Now, a company is allowed up to 5 persons in those registration process in regards of the whole operations for a year. So you must have your 5 primary executives on your team, if it is that you register in Qatar, and every year you could put on 5 additional persons. That is what will be afforded. Now, our platinum package is a hybrid of both the packages that will allow for you to also have both locations at your disposal. You will also have one of your businesses located in the Qatar Financial Center, as well as the Qatar Free Zone. And again, that same package would permit for 12 persons to be registered at once and afford you the opportunity now to not just only have access to the free zone, as well as the Qatar Financial Center. Now, one of the things I want to bring to your attention, if it is that you're looking to do business in Qatar, I want to also let you know, Mr. Regis has been, because of his relationship and his residency and his close ties with the company he works with, he has access to the RFQs for different businesses that will allow for certain developments. So we talk about the construction, we talk about the education, we talk about the oil and gas industry. There's a number of RFQs that comes up every week that affords for companies to tender to get a contract. No, we were very fortunate, again, through one of those RFQs for our company to benefit from a contract. We also have other customers who are also benefiting from, by the time they register, to access a contract. And that, of course, will have an additional cost to it. But again, you could reach out to us and actually reach out to both Mr. Regis and myself through the Qatar Caribbean LLP and allow for us to be able to direct to you how it is we could assist. Again, with True, Roll, and Alina as well, we all will be able to assist you in helping you merge or migrate your business to those territories. So I want to thank you again. And if there's any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer it. Thank you very much. Right, as well as to get in touch with the team members from the Assuage group as well. Thank you again for this forum.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Marsha, because that information you shared was so valuable. And I want to remind those who are in the session, if you have any questions, this is a great time to post them in the chat section. And also, I want to encourage you to visit the chat section as well, because there are a couple links in there that you're definitely going to find helpful. So for instance, if you want to be able to connect with the team, you're going to see a message that reminds you that if you want to connect with Assuage, you can complete a request form by following the link that's posted there. And of course, you're going to see also the link for the Qatar Caribbean group, that if you want to learn more about QCG and all the awesome work that they're doing, you can also follow the link to get to their website to learn more about it. So what we want to do, even while we wait, just in case you guys have any questions, I really want to open back up the floor to Roll Rollocks and Mr. Kirth Regis as well for some open dialogue, so that y'all can share a bit more about what people who are contemplating this move should keep in mind as they get prepared. And remember, guys, those of you who are viewing, be sure to click that link even now, or even save the link so you could connect with us for your one-on-one questions, okay? So Roll, Marsha, Kirth, allow me to hand over to you. Thank you.
Okay, if I may, just jump right in. Firstly, I want to say, as a special promotion for this event and this event only, if you, during this podcast or immediately subsequent to this podcast, you go to the Qatar Caribbean Group website, you book up an appointment to Candidly, you would receive a 5% discount overall on the fees for any one of those packages that Marsha so clearly outlined. Again, whether you do it during this podcast or immediately after this podcast and reference this podcast, you are going to receive that 5% discount off the bat. So I think that is awesome. Go ahead, click, book a one-on-one, and let's see how we can partner so you can access this 6 billion people market. It's available. All right, Roll to you.
Yes, but certainly one of the questions that has come to us treats with the QCG team, right? I know we are proud and we know the strong team that backs this particular opportunity, but there's anything more that you can share in terms of the team and the experience of the team to give those who are viewing and listening in a better sense of it. For sure, you know, a large portion of this team is a homegrown team, but they comprise a number of persons from different countries, as you would imagine, around the world. But certainly, could you expand a little bit more and share a little bit on the team? Either Marsha or Kurt.
Okay, well, I will take up that challenge. Well, thanks again. Well, in our team, we have, of course, the esteemed Mr. Kurt Regis, who is the CEO of Qatar Caribbean Group. We also have in our corner, Ms. Regis, who's also a business developer strategist. And she has been one that will be assisting new clients with regards to their migration packages in regards of developing their business in the territories. For those who may not have the know-how, she has almost close to 25 years plus of that experience that afforded her to be able to assist any organization in developing their business in new territories, right? We also have on our team, Ms. Carly Wong. She's also the head of admin and IT, and she is the one that keeps everything in flow in regards of our information processes and everything, so that our clients will have a seamless transition in regards to documentation and meeting all the required documentation for the migration purposes. We also have an attorney, Ms. Kira Coffey, who is on board with us to assist in regards to ensure all the legal documentation and the framework that will be necessary to ensure that you will not have any challenges with regards to migrating your business to any territory, of course, as you know, in Qatar. And we want to, and of course, we have our other sub members, and there's so much more people in play, but at the end of the day, our team is experienced, and we have, of course, for myself, I am a sales and marketing manager. I have been in the sales industry in many different dynamics for practically almost 20, 25 plus years. And my course and my background would have definitely been in many different, of course, I have also lived in several different countries. So I too have my personal experience with business migration of my own. So I could obviously, of course, encourage anybody with migrating. That is a wonderful opportunity, especially when you have the energy and the know-how and you just want to do something positive. I could also assist where that is concerned, because I've actually had personal experiences. I have actually lived in 7 different countries, right? So I could testify to, and not only living in 7 different countries, but also operating business in those territories as well. So I have my first-hand experience migrating my personal business in the countries that I've lived in. So more than happy to support anyone if it is they need that advice, and of course to encourage those persons with the strategies that is needed as well for you to be successful in anything that you would, especially in Qatar. I could only suggest and also encourage those, not just listen, but participate. It is so easy to procrastinate and say, well, this may seem out of my purview. We have actually put together in our packages persons who need financial assistance. You will actually put you onto the right persons in the finance sectors that will afford you to get a loan so that you could purchase one of these packages, keeping in mind we keep in the open mind that Qatar is a very successful economy. So paying back your loan will not be any of a challenge for you. So taking up the opportunities, please embrace it. And of course, reach out to us, and we'll be more than happy to assist you. And of course, sign up. The World Cup is in Qatar in November. We want to encourage persons, if you want to do small businesses, we have actually now developed a new plan, a marketing plan that would afford for persons to have product distribution in Qatar, which I would like you to obviously take advantage of that, so that you could be able to have your Caribbean product displayed. And your
Marsha, I'm so happy you mentioned that. You know, so folks, as you realize that the team that we're presenting here, team is experienced, this team is on the ground, but I know there may be that question in some person's mind, maybe services provide is a one-stop shop, and we're happy to be part of this entity where any business that you want to do in Qatar, from exporting to business migration, is possible. So I thought I'd just make that interjection there, Marsha, and maybe you can expand on the range of services as well.
Right, wonderful. So what we are doing now is helping companies and businesses who may want to do a market penetration in that territory to assist you by meeting with us, and we will show you the know-how because we actually setting up 3 locations in Qatar that will afford for your display of your products, goods and products, to be on visible display. Right now, we need a Caribbean representation. You know, the Jamaicans have no fear. We are asking to have a Caribbean representation. Our company that is launched in Qatar right now is called Al Caribe Qatar. That is the brand that will be focusing on the marketing and distribution of goods in Qatar, that will assist in regards to being able to represent your products. And how we will do that is that we want to get persons, we want to bring in the dry goods, the products that will definitely display our array of spices and products, and even drinks, right? Don't keep a limited mind in regards to what we can and cannot do, right? At the same time, I also want to encourage persons as well. You know, the development in Qatar, they have a mandate in 2030 to develop Qatar to be, again, a smart city. And with the development, it's going to have a lot of construction opportunities. So it's not only focusing on just the building, have the civil works, the engineering, the plumbing, the electrical, the whole 9 shenanigans. They're also going to be needing schools. They're also going to be needing more health centers, and they're going to be needing a wide array of different businesses, because their whole dynamic is to make Qatar one of the premier cities of the Middle East. Of course, there's no crime. Unlike in Trinidad, I'm sorry to say, there's not a crime issue in Qatar. So persons could actually be very comfortable moving their business to Qatar and know very well that there's no untoward behavior of persons coming in to rob or steal of your products. They're frowned upon that in that society. It is not tolerated. Any misbehavior or misrepresentation of yourself, they will definitely remove you with immediate effect out of the territory. So your business practice has to be above board. Obviously, your word has to be your bond. If it is that you are transacting business in those territories, you have to make sure at the end of the day, if it is you're going to pay on time, pay on the day that you have allocated yourself to pay your good for your suppliers or whatever it is that your responsibilities are requiring. So I want to actually advocate. You know, I always say, if I go in Qatar and I could get a doubles or a bacon shack, we could take double prices, raise in Trinidad. Okay, we go Qatar, we sell the same doubles, and we're getting a better price point in that area, right? So these are some of the suggestions. I will encourage those of you, if it is that you are looking to do businesses in those territories. The food and beverage industry is a very lucrative business. Their annual importation for goods and services is important, right? So feel free to absolutely take part of that opportunity. Thanks
Yes,
very much.
I see a question here, either for Kurt or Marsha. In the service provider, whether I take it as consulting, training, I mean the whole gambit in terms of this type industry. Are there opportunities available, Mr. Regis?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, the rise of the service sector is very, very important. You know, with the completion of most of the construction projects, and even though they are still ongoing, the contribution of the service sector cannot be, you know, understated. Along with the oil and gas sector that powers the economy, the service sector also currently in Qatar provides thousands of skilled and non-skilled jobs. You know, the government and the authorities concerned have taken several steps over the past few years, making the sector resilient and firm, and it is growing by an average of 4.3% for the last 3 years, notwithstanding COVID. And that is important. Notwithstanding COVID, the sector has continued to grow. Now, that means that innovation is at the forefront. They have found ways to still offer key services, right, of all types. And guess what? Add to that the World Cup, and currently in Qatar, businesses are registered, service businesses, service-oriented businesses are being registered in Qatar at a phenomenal rate because they want to position themselves not just for the World Cup, but for the expansion that continues till the year 2030 and beyond. So indeed, there are opportunities. I was reviewing and updating the RFQ list. It was mentioned earlier. And I can tell you that sectors like education and training, the food and beverage sector, the hotel sector, I have at least 10 to 15 new RFQs per sector, per service sector that come daily. So for sure, there are opportunities. And once you book the appointment and we have the one-on-one, we can go into more detail and I will give you the details of those RFQs, just so you know the opportunities are real, they are tangible, and they are within reach. And that's what excites me about QCG and what we're doing.
Thank you so much, Mr. Regis. And of course, I'm just waiting a couple more minutes in case anyone has any other questions. Roel, are you with us? Are you connected with us? All right. So it seems as though Roel is having some technical challenges there. But Mr. Regis, allow me to say thank you so much to you and Marsha for being a part
Alina,
of.
excuse me, before we conclude, I have a question, a couple of questions actually.
Sure, great.
With respect to the information shared by Mr. Regis and Ms. Armstrong Williams, the discussion centered on setting up a business in Qatar. But how will it operate if someone wishes to do business without having to physically relocate? And is there a requirement for, is there a local content requirement?
Okay, well, let me answer that question. That's a good question. It all depends on the type of business that the person wishes to engage in. Now, if it is that the individual is looking to specifically focus on products, so I'm using an example of like plantain chips or even cassava flour, and they may not have the means to literally create a business there, the Al Kariri Qatar will be able to assist you by you sending your goods to that organization which we created, which will market your goods obviously for a particular price, right? You pay 6 months up front, and again, you will have a presence in that territory. The only thing is that you yourself will not be able to have your business name. It's just your product will be represented. And we will assist you based on the type of goods that you may want to enter into Qatar and use the Al Kariri Qatar brand to be able to promote your goods regarding what is it you want. We also have the option, our Life Tree brand has our hydroponic farms. We are expanding organizations. You also have an opportunity to invest in one of our farms and own a farm where we will operate it. And again, with all the concessions made, we will be able to give you a return on your investment. If it is, you could, because again, the Qataris are big on agriculture because, you know, it's a desert area. All our farms are indoors, and we are encouraging persons, if it is, you may not have a business idea, but you just want to make an investment to benefit from getting some US dollars. We have investment portfolios like our hydroponic farming, and we would love to expand into different districts. And you could own one of your personal farms and we manage it for you, and then we will split the profits accordingly. So we have those opportunities that we will afford those persons. If it is that you're looking for services, well, that's a different thing. But at this point, we're just focusing on the marketing and distribution, as well as the hydro farming as our main priorities at this point in time. Any other questions?
So you focus specifically on setting up a business in relation to a product. How does it operate for service providers, which represent a significant portion of the participants here? In terms of, are there any barriers to service providers establishing a business, and are there sectors that are restricted from foreign engagement?
Okay.
All right. So,
Okay.
if you allow me just to make a contribution with that, and then Marsha, of course, you can come in as well. Now, in terms of, it would depend, of course, on the service sector, on the one hand, as was said. So let me take, for example, if you are providing consultancy, let's say financial consultancy, there is definitely an opportunity where you can seamlessly register your business there in order to do that. Of course, if you do not wish to do that, the platform would be an online platform, and that can be done through a number of hosting sites that can do that. Okay, in terms of restricted businesses, they do not allow, in general, security and, for example, surveillance. Security and surveillance is an area where they are a little more particular because, of course, of the risk. So that is an area that would be more difficult to penetrate, not impossible, but more difficult to penetrate. In terms of the screening processes are more rigid and regimental and so forth. So again, it depends on what is the service that you're providing. You know, some services would require a physical presence, so there'd be no way around it. So in order to give a real specific answer, and an answer that would really satisfy, we would need to know what is the service that you intend to provide, and then we can speak, you know, directly. But there are areas, you know, for example, adult entertainment is an area that is an absolute no-no. Okay. So that is just to give an example. But again, you know, we are open to asking getting more information as to the specifics when We have the one-on-one, which can be booked from the website, and for sure we can give more pointed guidance on that.
Thank you very much.
You're most welcome.
Kavita, you mentioned having questions. Are there any more that is to be shared at this time?
No, I think my questions were answered by both
Okay.
parties. Thank you so much.
Okay, I appreciate it. Yes, Roll, I see you're back with us in full. I just wanted to know whether you had any closing remarks before we begin to wind down this morning's webinar.
Just to say thank you so much to TTCSI for making this possible, and for Qatar Caribbean Group for venturing in this way, being a pioneer in this way to make it available to Caribbean companies, and particular to organizations in Trinidad and Tobago. And you have to know that you're among the first to be exposed to these types of opportunities. So, I consider it a privilege, and we're really looking forward to meeting with you and partnering with you along with the QCG team to help make that transition to Qatar. Of course, I'd like to also mention in closing that, one of the real advantages as well is that being homegrown, being understanding Caribbean region, but also being there for many years gives Qatar Caribbean Group some insight into what's happening on the ground. And as you would know, there is a cultural aspect of it, but QCG is very much linked to the cultural framework and in business network to be able to find contracts and to close business for you. So if your concern is about closing business and doing business today, I don't think you have any other place to go. All right. So again, thank you very much, and looking forward to meeting with you on a one-on-one and making your migration and business expansion realities a possibility.
Yes, thank you,
Alina,
Roll.
sorry to interrupt. I just saw a question come in.
Yes, I was just going to mention
Right.
that. Thank
So
you.
the question is, how long does a business need to be in operation, or what stage of development does the business need to be at before they can access the packages? Are there developmental services available for those who may not be ready for expansion to get them ready for expansion?
Wow, excellent question. Excellent question. Let me say, if you have an idea for a business, a service, a product, and you have taken all the information that has been given on board already, and you are prepared to have the discussion with an open mind to taking that step, then book the appointment. Let's have the one-on-one. You are most welcome, and it can be done. We have all of the support. We have a combined more than 50 years of business development expertise, but world-class, worldwide expertise at your disposal. So anything from ideation stage all the way to fully developed business, and small businesses all the way up to multinational corporations that are operating out of Trinidad and Tobago. I am not, of course, permitted to call names, but we are in discussions with all of them, and all are welcome. Just to break it down to brass tacks, I am in Qatar, I eat the food, I eat the Italian food, I eat the gourmet food, I eat the street food, and all I could think about is a doubles with slight pepper would absolutely destroy this market. So if I say that, you understand, I understand what will survive here, what will thrive here. And our products, our Caribbean indigenous products would do well. Come, let us show you how that can be done.
Can I add as well? There's also the Qatari government has been doing so much to support businesses. So you actually have opportunities for financing and funding for startup. So you may be a startup, you have just an idea. there is funding available, and we can help make that connection and make it possible for you. I see a hand. I don't know if that's another question, but I as well have another question for you, Kurt. But I'll take the hand first. Kavita?
No,
I
I'm
think you
sorry.
can
I
go
meant to
ahead.
lower my hand.
Okay, sure.
Yes.
Yeah, the question, one of the questions that come up from time to time is the question of sponsorship. This whole issue of could you explain a little bit more about what this means in terms of having sponsorship? Does someone need to have a sponsor? What's the advantage of it? Could you shed some more light on the question of?
Absolutely. Let me put it in a nutshell. You can have a sponsor so that if you're entering the market and you do not want to have 100% owned company, which is the option that we all know. The 100% owned company, you register a company, you have a board, it belongs to you. You have the option as well of what is called a Qatari sponsor. And under that system, the local or the citizen of Qatar would own 51% of the shares, and you would own 49% of the shares. Now, some of the benefits of that include, Raul alluded earlier to the availability of financing for startup businesses. Well, in general, any business can approach and satisfy the requirements and get the startup funding. There is that, okay, where you have due process and you would need to qualify and so forth. If you have a Qatari sponsor and that sponsor makes the application on your behalf, you are, and this is statistically proven, you are 50% more likely to get that financing. The thinking behind it, quite simply, is that Qatar takes care and they are very much more receptive to their own, of course, so that you would have that additional champion, quote unquote, for your business. You have that additional champion, which may or may not be required. But then again, depending on your type of business, for example, if you are coming into a market which may already be approaching saturation, you may want that additional push. And a sponsor would give you that additional push, even a more powerful sponsor. The more powerful sponsor, the stronger the push. And in essence, it exists everywhere, but here it is pronounced and it is institutionalized. So that is the positive of having a Qatari sponsor. Of course, it is not that simple. There is a lot more that goes into it. There is a lot more that can be said on it. But definitely, in a nutshell, it's just like somebody in Trinidad picking up the phone, making a phone call, and things become easier. They have formalized and institutionalized it. So depending on the business and your situation, a sponsor may be the right way to go. But again, as you book the one-on-one with us, we will be able to guide you and advise you which one is best for you.
Yes, thank you so much, Kurt. And again, I want to really give appreciation to TTCSI for really supporting this information session. Thank you for Kurt logging in from Qatar, and of course, Marsha Roll. My name is Alina, representing Swedish Business Development, and I want to remind everyone who's looking, please do go into the chat section now before we close off. Go in there now and copy the links and save them if you've not yet done so that we can do the necessary follow-up with you to ensure we're able to give that individual feedback about your business and really help you understand how we could better support your needs. Of course, business development through export and or migration are viable options in a changing and an ever-evolving economy. So whether you're looking to expand regionally or internationally through the Go Qatar initiative, we are happy to be able to stand with you, hold your hand, and help you with building out that strategic direction. Thank you once again. And please allow me now to hand over once more to Kavita from the TTCSI as she brings our session to a close.
Hi, thank you so much, Alina, and thank you very much to all our presenters today. It was quite an informative session, and I think all of the participants would have gotten a very in-depth view of what it takes to establish a business in Qatar, the type of economic landscape and the potential for businesses in that country. And we do look forward, if you, as Alina said, if there are any further questions, please feel free to reach out to either the TTCSI or Aswij, and we will direct the questions to the relevant parties to see about addressing your concerns and your inquiries, because that is what we are here to do. We are here to support and work with firms as they seek to grow and expand their businesses. So thank you very much to everyone, and do have a good day and stay safe.